Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we had finished up here at the little elf outpost of Haldarith. We were getting in a boat with Coridan and Nona and our Rohirrim friend, Horn, was it not? Yep, getting a boat with all of them, and we were going to travel all the way down the Anduin with Mr. Coridan here. He was going to be our guide on the Trail of the Fellowship. So whenever we talk to him...
Let us go to the boat together.
Let us go to the boat together. I want to have a good seat and a comfortable place to rest my arm as we paddle. So we had just gotten started with him, and we were entering into an instance about the journey by boat. And so that's where we left off. So let us go ahead and continue on now.
I have journeyed on the great river often, and know its swirls and eddies like no other elf.
As we see where this boat journey is going to lead us and what we are going to run into here. I hope everyone is having a good time. The Fall Farmers Fair has started.
The river Anduin is as familiar to me as my own shadow. But it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night.
All right. So we are doing the instance a journey by boat. We need to talk to Coridan. Oh, aren't those elf... Look at the elf rowboats. Aren't they something else? Wow. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. Although you would think that if you're gonna put a protection against the elements there, don't you think it would cover the entire top, maybe? Oh well. Elves don't really seem to feel discomfort, do they? Or they claim not to. There's the Anduin over there. It looks like maybe we are getting into... Maybe, yeah, there's the Rush Core. There's the little town over there where what was it? This is the fields of the Celebrant is where that is. Don't remember what the name of that town is, but we're getting right down here to the Rush Core, where it splits up and forms a bit of a marsh. So let's talk to Coridan here, shall we? Oh, and darn it, it's like, so I guess this one takes place at nighttime or dusk or something, because I was so happy while we were standing in Hildebrandt that we had actually picked a day where it was dawn for a change, but it's going to make us play at night anyway. All right. In fact, let me go in and check right quick. Let me see here. I don't remember if I've got an Alt F10, if that's working now or not. Doesn't look to be, so we'll leave the ambient light turned up like it is right now so that we can see what's going on. Let's go ahead and talk to Coridan. That is far enough for today, Gnarlo. Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before the night watches begin. We will leave in the morning at first light. It is not good to travel further south on Anduin at night, unless the need is considerable. The waters become treacherous the nearer you get to Sarngavir. So join Coridan at the fire. Let us rejoin our companions, Gnarlo. It is a good fire and built quickly, Horn. Thank you, Coridan. All right, Nona. The Elf Queen was right to send this guide with us, Gnarlo. He knows the waters and knows how to keep a boat afloat, which is more than the daughter of Suvulk knows. Were it up to me, I would lead us south on dry land, with springy turf underfoot and no fear of foundering. Nona lowers her voice, a rare event for the Dunlending woman. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, Gnarlo, but as we saw, this horse lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were on the river. If he has a grievance with me, tell him to air it so I may respond appropriately, with words or with Wadu's sword. I have become tired of this ability to look all around him, but not in my direction, whatever direction that happens to be. Oh, Nona. Nona. Don't you know why that might be, dear? If you did, you might not be squatting quite that provocatively in front of the fire and in front of him. Mr. Horn. You are fortunate to have friends among the elves, Gnarlo. I would not want to make this journey without a guide, and Corridan appears to know what he is doing. But it is not seemly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves, as you saw in Stangard. Of his kind, my people have little to say but that long-lived and dangerous. They have more to say of the folk of Dunland, but none of it is kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome at Stangard when she had need of aid, though I understand its root. Her people and mine have a long and unhappy history. I have no quarrel with her personally, but our shared friends and duties make us allies. Nothing more than that. Oh, really? Uh-huh. Yeah, like I believe that, Horn. We have seen some time before we should begin the night watches, Gnarlo. Would you find some tale-telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions around a fire can be a pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen, Gnarlo. I will begin, and perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. Perhaps so. Oh, it won't let us jump over the fire. That's probably a wise thing. All right, so have a seat and let us listen to Corridan's tale. I grew up in the Golden Wood, but I spent most of my time exploring the wilderness. My sister Sigilith stayed in Lorien for long years, but not in idleness. My skill was with the bow, but hers was with knives. She made them herself, and each was deadlier than the last. I returned from a journey once, convinced I had become the greatest of archers. Is that so? I wager you cannot hit this wooden target from 50 paces. I accepted and strode 50 paces. When I turned to fire, I saw that my sister was right. She had hewn the target at its base, and it had fallen into the grass. We laughed and laughed. That is my tale. Do you have one to share, Gnarlo? Ooh, Speak of Angmar, Dol Guldur, the fords of the Eisen, seeking the Nazgul. Which one? Seeking the Nazgul would be a story about Nona, and that would be of interest to Horn. Speaking of the fords of Eisen would be of interest to Nona, probably, to know what kind of man Horn is. Dol Guldur might be memories of Corridan and his sister. Angmar might be interesting to all of them. Huh. Or I can just be silent. Oh, this is one of those where you wish you could save and replay it and try all the different things, you know, see what happens. I will have to go in and go to the wiki and have to come back and let y'all know whether the different tales have any effect on the story whatsoever. I think actually I will speak of seeking the Nazgul. Let's see if we can get Horn interested in Miss Nona here, since she doesn't really seem to have any antipathy toward him, other than the fact he's ignoring her. His all seems to be, it's not seemly to be seen with a Dunlending girl. So let's see if we can play a little matchmaker here. Very well, if you have the heart to Sorry, Corridan. Very well, if you have the heart to tell it. Such creatures are possessed of incredible evil, and it is not always best to speak of such things. I will begin. You speak of your time in the Rushgore with Nona and of Horn's role in saving her life. Now die. You speak too of Gladriel's belief that Nona's wound was not caused by a Morgul blade. After a time, you come to the end of your story. Talk to Horn again. Boy, we were getting dread during the story. I mean, did you see that? I shall go next. My tale concerns King Fingal of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. It is a sad tale, given the happenings of late, but you may find it interesting. King Fingal came to the throne when he was very young, and he ruled for 50 years. Though long, his rule was ill-starred. He was prone to greed and made many enemies. In the last winter of his reign, he was hunting north of the Entwade on a cold afternoon. An elderly woman stumbled into his camp. She was lost and hungry. "A scrap of bread, if you please, my mighty lord. I am lost and cold and hungry." "Who are you, crone, to beg from the crown? If you seek warm food in your belly, find some churl whose bed lies unwarmed. Or find some game and kill it yourself." King Fingal threw his own dagger at her feet and sent her away into the dark night. "This is the kindness of the horse lords, is it?" Horn did say that Fingal was a foolish king. He did say that, and I say he spoke true, but it does not seem an uncommon trait among the horse lords. The king's men were horrified, and they searched for the woman. They found her at dawn, frozen to death at the foot of a tall boulder, the king's dagger still in her hands. She had carved a curse into the face of the stone, along with her name, Wirgind. This is what she carved into the stone. "Feckless Fingal, fool, I name thee. Grief shall be the get of thy greed. No lord of your line shall long live. Upon thy seat no sun shall settle. Kin and kingdom your craving hath killed, until the might of the mark is mended. Wirgind." Horn sighs heavily and continues. King Fingal was furious, and he ordered Winged's body burned and the stone destroyed. But no man of his company would move her, and every hammer and mattock they set to the stone shattered on contact. King Fingal himself assailed the stone with a sword until the blade shattered, and a shard pierced his thigh. The wound festered, and King Fingal died of poisoned blood on the first day of spring. Many in Rohan thought the curse was ended, but now that Prince Theodred is gone. Well, that is the end of my tale for now. I do not have the flowery words or turns of phrase that Corridan and this man Horn have, Gnarlo. I write my tale in the hide of my enemies, with Wadu's sword as my quill. I have no story to tell. Everyone has a story, Nona. What is the origin of the sword you bear? The horse motif is not of your people. The sword came to my brother Wadu. He used it to slay a great beast. What was this beast? A large animal of some kind? A bear? It was a great Greiba, the mighty dragon spawn of the mountains. Can it be? I know of no such creature. There is much about my land and people you do not know. That may be so, Nona. I am sorry if I have offended you. Your brother must have been a great man to defeat such a foe. He was. I think that is enough tale spinning for one night, Gnarlo. I will take the first watch, and I will wake you when it is your turn. We will set out again at first light. Completed a journey by boat. All right. Talk to Horn near the shadow of the Argonath. We will leave at first light. For now, you should get some rest. In the morning, we will continue our journey down the Anduin. Let's see, is that going to kick us into another instance?
Behold, the Argonath, the pillars of the kings.
I'm wondering if we start yet another instance. Is it going to be a journey of instances? Now entering the east wall. Nope, no instance this time. Oh, we got a number. Coridan, Nona, there's Horn, and there's Framric. Looks like another man of Rohan, yep. Looks like another Rohirrim here. Ooh, look at the Argonath. I'm gonna go over here. I love the music. It's great that they kicked in the music here. Take a look there. Wow, isn't that wonderful? Nice, nice. Can't wait to explore it. Can't wait to explore it. Is our boat parked somewhere along here? Don't see it. We will have to explore around these parts. I wonder if that's a Rohirrim camp or an Orcish camp up there behind all the palisade with all the orc skirmishers and all about here. It would be hard to tell. Anyway, I think that is where possibly... Let's talk to Horn right quick. See what Horn has to say now that we're here.
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues.
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues of the Argonath. Many songs have been sung about the men in those whose likenesses they were carved, and I know most of them by heart. I will not sing them now. There is too much we must do here.
Friends of yours came this way. Friends bearing a burden of some malice.
Okay. On to Chapter 7, Shadow of the Argonath. Horn speaks quietly, for what he has to say is meant for your ears alone. We spoke of a great many things on the boat, and I do not begrudge you for speaking in generalities, but you told me enough to know your errand here is important. Friends of yours came this way, friends bearing a burden of some malice. Whatever they carried, it was sought by orcs, and perhaps others as well. We need to find what happened to these friends of yours, and if their burden has been lost. Horn raises his voice to include the Rohirrim man standing nearby. This man saw our boat drifting down the river and hailed me from the shore. His name is Framric. Framric? Is it Framric? Yes, Framric. And he has come with a party of Rohirrim from the wold. I would have us help his people if they desire our help. But first we must prepare our own camp. Speak with Nona and Coridan for their thoughts, and then collect sticks for a fire. I will do the same. All right, we will accept it. And that's where we will leave off here, the Shadow of the Argonath. All right, fantastic. All right, we tore through that. Like I said, I will look on the wiki, and next time I'll let you know whether there's any differences in the story whatsoever. From the results of it, it would appear that there probably weren't. I mean, it was probably just you tell whatever story you are, and the mission, the instance would continue along with them telling their stories. But we will check and see and make sure. So that's it for this time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. It was good to be back here and traveling down the great river once more. Once again, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your comments, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Almost forgot my traditional smoke.